Sorts of ships and boats have sailed into Town Point Park and will continue to move through the area throughout the weekend for Harborfest 2025.
So on board a tall ship right now is Alex Littlehales. Alex, how's it going out there? Not a bad day for sailing, though humid.
Hey, I've just been making my rounds across all the tall ships here at Harborfest, and right now I'm joining you live from the schooner Virginia, and to my right, lovely Scott McKinley, one of the dedicated volunteer crew here aboard the schooner Virginia. And so, Scott, I know that the Virginia schooner has a ton of history tied here to Hampton Roads, particularly in the First World War. So if you would mind kind of letting our viewers know just how important this was to Hampton Roads back then.
Absolutely, absolutely. So back in like 1917, this vessel was built. It was the schooner Virginia. This is a replica of that vessel. So this was built in 2004, 2005 to replicate what was then an apprentice training ship for the Virginia pilots. So back then, when ships were coming into the Hampton Roads area, they didn't have a lot of the local knowledge of where the shallow areas and where the channels were. So the schooner would take out apprentice pilots, and they would put them on those ships and allow them to come in safely to the different ports that we have here in the Hampton Roads area.
And if you wouldn't mind, you know this ship really well, but a lot of people watching may not. So if you wouldn't mind kind of giving me an MTV Cribs tour of the deck here. So what are we looking at here, and what can people expect?
So this is the aft part of the ship where we have our steering station. The ship was made to be as authentic to the original model as possible. The original Virginia did not have engines. This ship does, but we try to sail whenever we can. So you'll see a lot of sail, you'll see a lot of lines hanging, and the crew are trained to hoist these sails up and make the ship go. We actually have the speed record in the Great Chesapeake Bay Schooner Race, which is a race from Baltimore to Norfolk that we hold in October. They did it in 11 hours and 59 minutes plus some seconds, which is the fastest that still holds the record.
And how can people, just to clarify the hours for visiting for the tall ships and the schooner here, and the education that folks can get when they come to Harborfest?
So we're part of Nauticus, which is the museum over by the battleship Wisconsin, and we're docked right behind that. So if you come to see Nauticus, you can certainly inquire about coming down and getting a tour of the schooner.
All right. Again, that is Scott McKinley with the schooner Virginia, and he will be here and his crew all weekend. But for now, live from Harborfest, I'm Alex Littlehales, and for Scott for 13 News Now.
All right, not a bad looking ship, that's for sure. Thanks so much, Alex. We're going to check back in with you on 13 News Now at 6.